Welcome to today's webinar on Orbit Intelligence, the basics. I see we're waiting for quite a few people who have registered. So if you don't mind, we'll just wait a couple more minutes before I actually start officially the webinar. Thank you. Hello, so welcome to today's webinar on Orbit Intelligence, the basics. I was expecting a few more people, but I think we should start so we have time to cover most. I see we already have some questions. If you don't mind, I'll keep these for the end of the session. If I haven't covered it during the session, we'll take a few minutes at the end to answer all your questions. This session will be recorded, and at a couple days by Monday, I'll send you the recording and also a few links to the supports that I will mention today. All right, so my name is Sandra Guilson. I've been working for Questel in the customer support and training division for 4 years now, and I will be your host today. All right, so let's have a look at the agenda. We will start by an introduction of the different type of searches. Once I've first presented how to use your preferences and make sure you're all good to go to start on Orbit Intelligence. We will then move on to the advanced search, keywords, how you can make a better use of it to make sure that you don't have too much noise and you really find the best way to get the results that you're looking for. Handling the results, once you have the results, how do you sort them and then the assignee search, saving and exporting your results. And then, like I said, at the end, we will cover, over your questions. All right, so when you want to go on Orbit Intelligence, you start on this page. I want to show you a few things about it. First of all, you can choose to change the tool's language. It's not once you're in Orbit Intelligence that you can change it. Some of you probably work with colleagues who are in other countries, and you might be able to prefer to communicate with them in English or other languages. These are the ones that are available down here. Up here, you have the new features. You have access from Orbit Intelligence as well directly. I'll show you where, but this is where you would click and see. Then you would go on Intelligence in this case to find out more about the news. So here we have the latest releases, so you can always see the improvements, the changes that we've made in the recent past, and also what is coming soon. So it might be, sometimes you might be thinking, oh, like to contact the support and ask them to do an enhancement. I would like this to, be improved. Have a look here first. It might be already, in the planning. So this would be up here. If you ever have issues with your system and contact the support, we might ask you to test your configuration here. That's when you have slowness of internet. So this would be also where we would ask you. Okay. Now let's have a look at the easy search. The easy search is almost like a Google. You can enter any patent number, keyword, company name, anything that you'll be looking for, and this is where you will enter it. Up here in the menu, easy search. Here you have the advanced search, which we'll cover a little bit later, the semantic search, the number search. For some of you, just more advanced biosequence, if you do not have that plugin, you will not see it. Like I said, I would like to go over the preferences to start with. So on top right here, you have user settings. It's very important because you might see some of your colleagues who can see certain things and you see them differently or you don't have it at all. This is where you can set it. So general, you can decide size of the text. For export and alerts, how you want to receive it, and the search, the default that you might want to see when you're doing your search. Here, this is the one that to me is more important. Here we have the collections. Most people have it by default on FAMPAT. And the display is where you can really customize it. You have, you can decide to see the result list straight away when you're doing enter your query. Others prefer to see the search history. I will show you how on the difference. The result list will, you'll have to see all your results. The search history will give you the number of hits that you've gotten with your search. So it might be like an intermediate step to not waste time, because sometimes the result list will take a bit longer time to download all the information for you, where this search history, I'll show you, will just give you like a quick recap on the number of search, and then you can just hit run and see the actual results. So I'll leave it on the result list for now. You can decide how many results per page. Also the field format, if you want it detailed, spelled out or not. And also here, important, your preferred patent authority. It will display on priority. For me, for example, I put, the EP, WO, US, FR, that's the list, but you can change it. You can set by default, and you can change the order that is a preference to you. Relevance score shown in the result list. If you do not have this on yes, you will not see it. That's why I was saying some of your colleagues might see some things and you won't. It will be here. That will be basically the main points here that I wanted to show you. It will really have its importance on how you see the results. Now let's do like a very simple, I'm going to go with something very general, as we have a lot of different companies with us today with different fields. So I'm just going to go with backpack, make it simple. Okay, so here we are on what we call the hit list, right here in the middle. You have 3 panels. On the left, where you have the menu, the filter, and the explorer. And on the right, where you can see the images, the preview, the claims, etc. You can customize the hit list and the right panel. Right here, you have a little plus. And you might decide what you want to see first, what is of interest to you or not. So for example, if I didn't want to see the quick, it will disappear. It's not there anymore. You can decide to have information here, the tabs here, or on the right. I will put my quick back. I will explain to you later what it is. You can decide to have the image first if you want it as well, or keep it on preview. Depending on what you're looking for, what is important to you, you can customize this area. Here you can see the highlight. That's the word that I was looking for. I'll show you the little button here. Also, if you wanted to modify, you can show results, modify, save, alert, and delete. Up here, we have the highlighter. So when you click on it, you get the highlight wizard. Very useful. I will show you that as well later. Just want to show you where everything is. Up here, we have the export. PDF. So you have to select here. Okay. Export, email, download patent copies. This is once you want to do similarity search. It's up here. Citations and the top, if you want to see the top signees. We have the publication numbers, first application date, applicant assignee. But here, like I said, you can decide to customize this area. So, like we said, the easy search is when you're looking for a precise patent and you're going for something very generic. We're going to go now to the number search. Let's say that you have a list of patents, maybe that you've been working on or that your colleagues gave you. I'm going to put a list here. Okay, this is a tool that is has a smart number search. So let's say, for example, I'm going to add a number and then copy another one just so you see how the smart number search is helping. So I'm going to hit search with a smart number search. You notice here, it's like a preview of how you number. Sometimes you might have a very long list and you might not realize it. So this helps you sort it before you send, you hit, the execute button. And so here it's telling you, hey, you have an unknown number that's not recognized and you have a duplicate. So you can actually clean it up before you you start the search, because it is time consuming, so it will save you a lot of time. So I'm removing the ones that are incorrect and duplicate. In this, you can choose which collection you want to search in. You have the FEMPAT collection, the full PAT, and the full text. That's the 3 collections you can search in. The difference between them, the FEMPAT family is the way that Questel is regrouping the patents. FEMPAT is one family. As far as the patents being alive or dead, if one family member is alive, the family will be considered alive. We do have some support pages that are, quite helpful that will, go over all these things that I'm telling you, and I will share them, like I said, with you at the end, or show you also where you can find them. So PAT family, one family. If you were choosing full PAT is one application. And full text, this one is less used, but it's one document. Full text, for example, will be used if you're searching in like limited countries, or if you absolutely want to have the information the quickest way possible when you're doing some alerts. And you want to, be aware straight away when there is any type of modification in one particular patent. So this search, let's see how. So I'm happy, it's all good, and I get my results of the specific patents I had asked for. Here they are. So like I was saying, here on the left, you will see the blue is alive. Like you say, when you hover over something, it will give you a description in most of the locations in Orbit Intelligence. So here, for example, red means the family is dead. If you wanted to look, let's have here, we're going to go to the right. So we have the preview. Preview gives you overall information. You get the inventors, the abstract, the protected countries. You have the first image. You have the list of publications. So you will see that here, quite useful, you have the link to the register. You also have access to the PDF, the grant statistics, etc. So here you have the priority numbers, the applications assignee, IPC code, CPC here. If you wanted to edit this preview, like maybe some information is not of interest to you, you can do it here. You have all this available. You have the little arrows to move, and you can decide what you want to see or not see. So again, very important. If you don't have it here, again, the information that is crucial to you, this is where you will change it and customize it. Now we have the image tab, where here you have the first image and all the others. The claims. We have the concept tab, which is quite useful. If creating new query, you can sort of see, where it is most, the words that come out, the concepts that are the most common, and it's found in most of the claims. Quick, this one I'll show you later. The legal status. This is where it tells you, for example, see, this family is considered alive. However, you can see here the German one is lapsed. The timeline actually is a good way to see. That's one that I personally like. It's just a good way to understand the life of the actual patent itself. And see here, for example, in the red, the period has expired. It gives you the dates. It's not revoked, but this one's expired, and it gives you along the way each step that happened. Can give you, let's see, this one, for example. You can see how different it is. If we take a WO, cannot hear, you can customize it whichever way is best for you. So here is CW and the different patterns. Again, here, sorry, you can decide not to see it or open it. All right, so let's go back to our hit list. Once you're here, you may choose and decide to look at this patterns. Now you will become, you will be, sorry, in the family view. So you can see you switch here, the tabs, you're in detail. Family view gives you all the information for each pattern. So again, the register, the PDF, all the information. Here, for example, for the assignee, you may choose to look more into the assignee. You click on it. Ah, just the wrong one. Let's see another one. Okay. So here it's the entity card for the companies. It gives you sort of a preview of their coverage and what they're concentrating on, how many inventions and patents they have, how many, the percentages of how many are pending, granted, the top technical domains, the market coverage, and the technology investment. So it's a overall nice little resume of that particular companies. Okay, so we've easy search. We're going to go now to the semantic search. Semantic search is if you already have a text. So we saw when you had a list of pattern numbers. Now let's see, I'm just taking like a claim from one of the patterns. And again, I want to stay in the FemPat family. Just here, it has to be in English for this particular semantic search. Otherwise, it will send for third-party translation with fees. So you can only use this particular section if you're working, with the text in English. We have a custom search wizard here as well. It helps you sort out if within your text they are, depending how you want to your results. There might be some keywords that are non-relevant. So you might want to take out straps and anything that's to do in this case backpacker, anything that has to do. So it's going to go, you might also, it's suggesting others. So see, I'm taking some out, but you might realize that there's some keywords that might be quite good for your search. Just going to leave it like that. Okay, and hit next. So see here you have another window that's open still, and you can see it work on it before you actually just search. It's like a preview of the type, how many results you will get. So here you have 2718. The result number will be here and here. If it's too many, you might decide to go back and say, oh, I've got too many still, it's too large, or add some if you don't have enough and say, maybe I'll enlarge it to start, see if I can get more results to work with. No, I'm just leaving it like that, hit search. And I see my results. So here, let's have a look at the left panel. You have filter options. Again, you might not see all that I have here. This is where you would choose to have the different options available to you to see. So if you're interested in not having the assignee, you can move it back. Right now, I'm going to leave all this. So legal status, alive, dead. If you wanted to filter it here, you can say, I just want to see the alive. You just click here and see your hit list will straight away change. Now we have a lot less results because we only see the patterns with alive families. Oppositions, if you want to see which ones have oppositions, first application year, publication countries, for example. You want to have a clear view on how many there is per countries. You want to see the assignees, so you can see a lot. And it starts from the largest number. So you always see the main one from your search at the beginning. And then it goes down, you can have more, the ones that are less. So again, application year, litigation, etc. So this is your filter options. Now I'm going to show you the advanced search. The advanced search is where you will enter your keywords. We've had a few months ago, this is like a brand new advanced search. If some of you have been working, even though you're following the basic webinar, we've made some changes and improved it quite a bit. So we have here suggestions. I'll show you how it works. And it looks a little bit different. But first of all, again, manage fields. You choose what you want to see. So search terms, classification, assignee, the date, unified patent court, for example. If you don't want it, you can take it off. If you want to do numbers, it would be here on the dates. And here you have each area that you can search from. All of them you can add, and you have 3 little dots. It's not because it's 3 little dots that don't look obvious, but they're quite useful. You have wizards available on these dots. In this case, for classification, you can browse the WIPO. And I'll show you once we have them. We also have down here quite a few options, like here, assigning database, company corporate tree, first publication date, where you can choose how you want to search. Same thing for publication numbers, application number, priority numbers. You tell the system what you're actually looking for. On the right, this is new as well. This is what we call the scope. So you can review your query up here before you search. So it might help you see if there's maybe you worked on it and then changed some things and forgot. And so this is, I would suggest to review. You'll see on this right panel before you hit search. It will save you some time. Now, I will stay with the idea of the backpack. I want to show you, when you're working on your query, you will use truncations and operators. I'll show you here the button on the left. The bottom left is the orange button. Here is all the help, all the subjects that you might need help on. So first you will look here, type what you're looking for. It will automatically suggest articles that are related to the page you're in. So advanced search form, build query integrations, because you're on the advanced search form. I'll show you later, if you're on another page, it will suggest other articles. If you do not find the answer you're looking for within our articles, you can contact the support here. There's a direct button. It's the quickest way to contact the support team. Now, for example, see build queries and using truncations and operators. You click, it will open it in a new window. Again, here, different languages available. We have French, English, Chinese, and Japanese. So you can just switch up here. We have little videos in the articles, and we have related articles. So it's always nice to look up here too. There might be an article that you didn't know existed, or that can be of interest, and how you can further use the tool. See the highlighting, etc. Depending on the page you're in, it suggests articles that could be of interest. Now, we have the truncations, the Boolean operators, and proximity operators. Truncations is going to be what we're going to do right now. I wrote backpack. I'm going to add a few other words for my query. And I want to make sure that I retrieve all the ones I'm looking for. So, for example, here, the plus is replaces any number of characters. So you have to be careful with it if you don't want to get too much noise. For example, here it explains, if you go with car, you will get care, card, cars, carts. So it's going to be too much using the plus. You can then use the question mark. The question mark replaces 0 or 1 character. So it's great for like plurals, like bicycle. And for example, aluminum, when you have a word like address written with 2D, 1D, or aluminium, they can be placed at the end or in any place within the word. So 0, 1 character. The hashtag replaces on exactly 1 character. So you don't want 0, you absolutely want 1 character there, but it could be different ones. Down here, I'll go to the proximity operators. This is one we're going to use down here. Airbag, I'm saying backpack. Backpack can be written in 1 word, in 2 separate words, with a dash in between. So we will use, I'll show you the underscore. S will be within the same sentence. P for same paragraph. So you put it in between 2 words. D is adjacent in any order inside the same sentence, very specific. So if you want to give it, more leeway, you can put 2D, 4D, even 5D. It's between 1 and 99. So you tell the system that regardless of the order, you want these words to be within 2 words distance of each other in the same sentence. Important. The W is different. You're telling them that you want them in the specified order. You don't want them card and smart after. So you will want in a specific order. And you can also here add how many words apart that they'll be separated from. And it ends up to 99. But really, just a few words usually is what you're asking, again, in the same sentence. The parenthesis is very important when you create your query, is how you actually define your query, each block of your query. So the system understands exactly what you're looking for. I will show you in the example, but you can retrieve this one here. So that was the operators. Now, the Boolean operators are the ones that use in between your search. So you're asking one word or another, one word and another, and you can decide not. So you want one word, but not another type of word. All right, so let's go back and create our query. So backpack, like I said, I will use, if you remember, the underscore. See how it's changing to blue. The system recognizes the fact that it's a proximity operator. So here I'm asking, do you have one word, 2 words, or separated by a dash? Like I was saying here, if you turn on the suggestions, this is one of the new tools we have, new feature. You can use a little plus. once you've turned it on, and it will suggest other words. So see how backpack, handbag, back panel, day pack, etc. You can add all or more. I'm going to choose or let's say rucksack. Here you will see you have by default and. You may decide to say or. If you do that, any other one that you will have will be default, will be the same. I'll show you. So here I'm opening another box. If I want to change or and, I want to show you here. That's what I want to show you. If you change it once, you'll be for all of them. Okay, so don't be surprised by that. Here, the 3 little dots. Now it's there. I can remove it. I don't need that many right now. Okay, so backpack or rucksack, and let's see. Actually, if you so you see how here I told you scope, backpack, or rucksack. If I do a search now, just to give you an idea how many hits we retrieve, it's loading. We get 3793 results. Remember earlier I told you in the settings up here, the preferences, I asked to arrive here in the hit list. I could also ask to arrive in the search history. So this is where if you wanted to see this first before the hit list, this is when you can, sort of sort. This is everything we did today. It keeps everything that you do here in your history. Depending where you have different options. So here I see that I have, the results. If you see it's too much, then you can just go back and decide to change or refine your search. Here I'll show you, since we're here, just show results. You can modify, delete. Here you can save. You can create alerts or delete the line you search. I want to show you here that semantic search. Sometimes you get the question. Semantic search, remember when we had the text, you do not have the option to save your query. It is only available if go through the other possible searches like number, easy, advanced search. Semantic search, you do not have the option to save your query or create an alert from it. Now, let's go back. All right, so I'm gonna add a few words. Let's see, for example, compartment or sleeve or pocket, for example. So again, I have and, so it has to have everything. Search. Now we're down to 5,866 results. As you can see, because we were in 2 separate search boxes, the highlighter automatically works and highlights, so it's for you to easily spot where it was. I will show you the quick tab. It's related to this. You will notice on the right the tiny little dots. This is to tell you within the text where it's found the keywords. Sometimes it's very long, so it's a good way to retrieve the information. I will show you the highlight tool in a few minutes. Now let's see if we can refine it some more. Now here, remember, let's imagine some text they have it in plural. I don't want to miss the plurals. I'm thinking maybe I was expecting more results. So I'm going to add the question mark to see if I'm retrieving more patterns. And search. I'm really trying to show you how you build your query, how you will get different results. See, we're up 77% 700 results. So quite a bit of a difference just from, see here, sleeves, the plural. This one didn't show because you didn't ask for the singular, and they have it only in plural in the text. So that makes a big difference. Let's see, if I wanted to add, I'll show you about the parentheses, how you can really refine and tell the system what you want when you build your query. I'm going to add another section here. I want the compartments or sleeve or pocket plus laptop. So I want only the backpacks that have a laptop compartment. Now I'm going to put the parentheses here, and I have to close it here on each side. It shows you how it's highlighted in yellow. So this should really reduce. Oh, an operator is missing. What did I do? Oh, I did plus it and I don't know what I was thinking. So it tells you if it's all done. Normally it's plus. What am I missing? Oh, compartment, I spelled it wrong for a start. Leave or closed it. Laptop. Oh, I know, this is what's distracting me, is the suggestion. I'm taking it off. There we go. I thought I had it. There we go. So you see, new tool, it can be distracting. There was the plus in front of the laptop that went by default, and I missed that I didn't actually put myself the plus. So now it should work. Obviously, it was missing. Now it's there. Very good. Oh, that seems to be a problem. Take this one out. Sorry, it's a very simple one too. For some reason. I'll just add here the laptop. All right. So now see we only have 86 results. You can see how it's found everything. Now I'll show you here on the line, you have the relevancy score, 100%. So in this one, it tells you it's found absolutely everything. Then it goes down. So it's the system telling you what you found most relevant. Again, some of them you don't necessarily see it up front. Let's take this one, for example. You don't see anything highlighted, but again, the quick will tell you in which part of the documents it found the keyword you were looking for. All right, so we've gone over the truncations, relevant concepts. This will really help you see if your search, the way you created your query, if it's too large or not. If you're getting too many, like lower percentage, or too many 100%, maybe you need to refine your search. If it's not enough, maybe you need to enlarge it. Now let's go back to the advanced search. I'm going to remove this one to get it choose specified. Okay, so here we have, we want to do a search by classifications. You can decide whether you do, like I said, IPC, CPC, etc. You can search by assignee. So here you have the option current assignee or current and past assignee. That's really according to what you're researching. We have the corporate tree available. I'll show you how it works. For example, if we enter, let's see, Airbus. Oops, Airbus. Hit search. It will show you not only the main company, but also its subsidiaries. Also, subsidiaries not containing the keyword. And on the right, you will see the estimated patent family count. So that's when we're combining our data, with the office data, and we give you, sort of a head count of how many they have. So you don't want to say maybe you didn't realize there was one company that they're using to creating patents, and they have a lot. So that would be, wow, that would be an interest to go on this one. For here, what you want, you can decide to select all, or you can decide to select like just certain few. Okay, if you select all here, you will also have all the ones at the bottom. Or in each section, you can decide to have just the one, and you won't take the below one. All right, so we'll just stay with this one. So here you have the little sign here showing that this is all the companies under Airbus SE. For the date, you need to tell the system how you want to configure your date. So if you want before a certain date, since, between, on, etc. So say since, and then it just works like a calendar, just pick your date. Again, here I showed you first application day, you tell them which date you're looking for. Number search I added earlier, but it's just like a regular patent number. All right. We're gonna move on here. To a big part. Maybe I want to see if you have a few questions at this point. Let me have a look. Okay, so I'll just go, take a couple minutes. Just so you can tell me if you have your big, questions, because then we'll move on to the save and export, which is another important section. So how long does Orbit take to update all the patents registered per day, as it gives different results for the same day in different days? Okay, I will show you actually on the top right here. Good question. I showed you the user settings, but we do have quite other few options. You have the help pages, which normally now you use more. Again, here the left bottom orange button. Guides and tutorials, same thing. The coverage details. Coverage details, it tells you, depending on the database you're on, so full text, FAMPAT, example, what it covers since when. I'm just going to go over a few things and finish answering with, your question. Here, let's say you're not retrieving information for a specific country and you're wondering why past a certain date. This is where you'll find out. We tell you when it was last updated, but for example, Australia, this is since when we're retrieving the information. Some countries, it's been added more recently. Each country and offices, a lot of them continued with paper. So there's still some countries that it's hard to get the information from, but you'll be able to see here for all the countries since when for every specific publication. So if you're not retrieving some information, have a look here. It will give you that information. The full text you get, again, full text is one document. So it's another way to look, if you have the images or not, etc. We don't always have them. You can see, depending on the country, some city 2005, others are really recent, some are very old. So a lot of information here if you're wondering why you're retrieving some data or not. Again, here you have the contact support report and issue and general terms, but I'll show you the help pages. Just it's the other way where you can see in a quick look, you're searching for a quick answer, you can find it here as well. Okay, like I said, we have specific days on which we retrieve the documents. I want to see if I can get you the page, which I'll send you after. It depends on the offices. Some is, every day, everything is updated on a regular basis. I will send you the page where you can see, depending on the offices, when we update the information. Some are weekly updates and some are every day. Really depends on the offices and when they make it available. So full text, what it covers, and who is the assignee? Is it the patent owner? Okay, so a couple more questions. We'll go back. Just stay with backpack. Filter, here you see the assignee. I'll just click on the first one. Okay, see here, you see applicants assignee. It's considered the owner. That's why you can retrieve. Sometimes it's asking if you want to see the original assignee. It shows you the history and who have owned the patents. So it might be a patent that was the application was done by one company and then it's been bought over. So here you have the actual assignee, but you can also have the history if you wish to. You have the inventor, which is obviously different. And full text coverage. I'm just going to show you here. Like I said, full text is really just the one document. I said we have this article which I'll share with you. I don't want to take too much time on it. I will, like I said, show you where you can find it, and I'll send them to you because it do make a difference. This article is really explaining really well the difference between the FAMPAT, one family, one invention. Full PAT, one record, one application. It depends on how you want to use the information. And the full text is really just one published document. So like I was saying earlier, you're asking on your question specifically for full text. It's more used, for example, when you are doing, searching in a specific country, but also when you are doing like setting up an alert and you want to know straight away when something is changed on that particular document specifically, so you will get the information quicker. So say speed issue, set alerts. So again, you will receive all the text. You can review this document. But that's the general. Just want to give you the general idea on this basic webinar because we have a lot to cover. I hope it answers at least partially your question. All right. Is everything clear on what I showed you, or is there anything else on what we've covered so far that some of you want to be a bit, at least generally clarified on? Okay, looks okay for now. All right. So now I want to see if I haven't forgotten anything in this part. Oh, yes, important. Showed you the search history. The search history will disappear. All that you've worked on, like today, so it records everything that we've done. It will disappear when you close your session. Here you have the save buttons. If you want to save your query, your results, you need to save it. And otherwise you research in your previous history. So that will keep in your previous history what you've done. So you can then look for when you worked on it, because this will be quite substantial after a while. I've showed you that, so it records everything here. If you wanted, I'll show you the alerts in a minute. If you wanted to modify to here, it allows you to. It's a bit slow here. So down here, you have this little inbox that opens up, combine strategies. So this is what we just had back in this one. I clicked on the first one, but you might want to say, okay, see, this is a search steps. So you can say, I want backpack, or so this search strategy, or let's pick another one, or 4. And then you hit enter. And this one didn't make a difference. It's not a good example. I apologize. I should have had more different ones. But here, it's running the search again with what you tell them. You can do or. I'm going back at the bottom. Not. I'm going to pick another one, another search strategy. 11. And see here, the results have changed. So you can also rework your strategy down here from the ones that you've used that day. Now, we've seen easy search, advanced semantic number, search history, search results, previous history. Here you have my saved searches. Those, if you save them, my alerts. So we're going to go over that. I'm just going to show results in this one. I want to show you this tab. So we have the menu, the filter area, and the explorer. Here you have different options. You will see work files and lists. The work files and lists, they work very differently. The lists, they are dynamic, so you're going to get automatic updates on them. So the results change as family members can be updated, and that's automatic. The work files, they're static, which means that whatever you've saved, it's not going to change. You will have to do manual updates if you want to update them. So that's really important to know where you want to save your results, depending how you want to work on it afterwards. For when you have a certain amount of results, let's see, I want to just filter a bit, keep alive, and I'm just going to save 10. This is the little sign that you want here. I'm gonna save it in my test. Go back. Okay. And it's important importing in here. See, I had 1 and now I do have 11. It's rather quick and then I can work here. I will show you how to work on it. Now, let's go back to the search. This is a search within the work file system. Yes, so you can search similar way, all this information within the work file. I'm going to go with a less number. Okay. Here is the export. So I'm going to, let's see, I want to select all of them and I want to export. It's going to give you a lot of options. The type of format you want to use, let's say PDF. What you want to export within all the documents. Again, really long list of what you can customize and have or not have. The dots here on the right are important too, I'll show you. First page, you can decide what you want to see from the first page. We'll select none, select all. You also have advanced options down here. You can decide if you want one document for each family, each pattern, each publication. Same thing for publication numbers, all or as displayed in the hit list. Field name, do you want the field codes or the full name, etc. So this is how there's 2 ways. There's really a lot. It's easy to miss. So really point out, like for example, publication dates. Right now it's on all, but you can decide just to have the earliest publication date, the latest, etc. Priority numbers, the claims. Again, you can decide as more language oriented if you want the way Orbit has displayed, so the way you had it in your results, the way you chose it first, or you want the English name, the French name, etc. You have RTF, text, CSV, CML, and Excel. Important when you export. There's a limitation. So if you download, you have 2 options, download on email. If you download, you're limited to 1,000 patent families. So 1,000 patent family if you download. So if you have too many results, it will tell you it exceeded, it won't let you. A solution is to maybe separate your results in 2 and then do the download, or you can choose the email option, and then you will get all the documents results by email. Now I'm going to go back to about 10. Okay, so here I want to duplicate. Here I'll show you, you can create a new folder, list, or work file. So I showed you when you already have one, how to quickly add it. If you want to create a new work file, you can do it directly from here. It doesn't have to be done in advance. So I'm going to do webinar. Oh, shouldn't have done a similar one. That's okay. I can choose this one or this one has a capital. That will work. And here it goes in the new one. I'll show you for the list. I want to create a new list. Same thing, I name it. So in our, just put 2. You can add a description if you want, a sort key to make it easier if you have plan to have a lot. And you see it's added here. So then I decide to add it to a list this time. And I go back to my Explorer and I see my 10 patents in my webinar list. And I see the results. All right. See what I should tell you also before we can go deeper into the work files. Another thing that the work files are going to help you is that you can work in them differently. See here, we're in a list. It gives you the information pretty much like you had on the hit list, and the tabs on the right, which you can also customize again. Go back to ours, was this one? It's quite different. See the page for the work files. It's a tool that will allow you to really work with your colleagues. It's built quite differently. You can see here there's a star ranking system. There's notes that you can add, documents that can be added. And on the right here, you will have different options here. When you share with others, you can decide what they can do or not. So let's see here, for example, this one. You can decide that this one is really important. You put 5-star, yes. This one will say just 2. I'm just going randomly to give you an idea. So you will have this ranking system that with your colleagues you can decide. You can add notes. This one has no notes. That's where you can add them again. Okay, so you want to publish a note. You're going to add information saying it's for your colleagues. So most relevant, for example, or etc. You save. And so you have the note that appears here. And on the right, when your colleague is looking at it, they can see the notes. Same way, PDF, all the information, just like on the hit list, is available to you. Another thing I want to show you now that we're here is the analyze the selected family button. So I'm gonna select all, and this is the analyze button. All right. That's when you want to save it. You can decide you want to save the analysis, and I'll just put test, and you save it. Another issue here. Oh, I know. It depends on, sorry, I configured my account on the very basic. Depending on the options that are available to you, you will be able to use the analyze button or not. I did that because it's true some of you may not have the analyze options. I will go back here in the results of search history. Get this one. Okay. When you're in the hit list, this is where all of you will be able to see so again, on the hit list, you can see some more generic information of analyzing tools. In the work file, it's an option depending on your company. So here, it will give you some key facts. Again, like the ID card, but this is a larger spectrum. And you have different ways of seeing the results and scrutinizing the results. So that's only if you want to go, really research or see specifically for technology or a particular company, you can go deeper into the data. All right, I will go now on to the highlighter. So we'll go back to the menu. Just do a new search, maybe. An easy search, sit back up. So we just have one color. Okay. So took one word, highlighted it for you to easily see. Just making a bit less documents. Okay. Here you see it shows you when they're already in one of your work files. So you don't need to add again a patent that is already in your work file. So the highlighter. If I click here, it will take the highlighter off. Put it back on. So it's in orange, so it's easy to spot when you have a highlighter on. It does work as a filter, very important. It is considered like a filter. So sometimes you forgot you had a filter, the highlighter on, and you don't see some results. This is where you can really spot, maybe see if you have any other filters selected, but including the highlighter. A lot of people forget about the highlighter. So on the right, little down arrow, it opens the highlighting wizard. You can save different profiles, different that if, for example, if you're constantly working with a specific research and you use a particular profile for that, you can save it and saves you time. So the following time you can use the same profile and select it here. You can create new ones. Here, for example, I can refine my search or I say refine search, but see other keywords that are of interest, for example. So like, let's see, I had laptop earlier. This is where, for example, I want to add the laptop. I apply, and it will tell me about the laptop. You can add quite a few highlights. There's more than 10. You can decide to make them highlighting persistent. So again, this is the one I was telling you. Be careful, this serves as a filter, so it will affect your results. You can decide to choose your own color. By default, there's an order, but you can just pick the color that you prefer. Let's see, put a compartment and apply. And then you have to hit OK if you're satisfied with it, then it will close the wizard. Do you have any other questions at this point? Oh, let's see, we had a few more. Okay, so one other question. After multiple queries in a day, sometimes Orbit prompts message that history is out of limit. Please let us know how to increase. You can't increase the limit of the queries. What you should do is save your queries, and it will go into your history. Should you remember here, there's really a difference between your search history, that's for the day, that's the one that disappears, and there's your previous history. If you go and save and And then you can remove it here. Like, see, I can delete, and then you're good. Some of them maybe have brought a lot of noise, a lot of images. Maybe look through the ones you might not need that actually, were maybe too wide and you don't need to keep them. So it will reduce it. So that's a way, to be able to continue to work. Let's see, more questions. Within which time frame can operations be performed on search strategy? Within a calendar day or 24-hour period? Operations, maybe that's what I was showing you here on the advanced search form. I hope I'm understanding the question correctly. So I showed you on the date. You can show between. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's your question. Can be performed on search strategies within a calendar day. You mean like to get different results, maybe? Because here is like you can really say search between, etc. If you okay, you have to understand the patent life is constantly changing. So it's when we have received the data, again, I will send you all, because there's different time schedules depending on the different offices. So I will send you that if obviously it seems to be important to you when we retrieve the information from the different offices. In this one, it's automatically updated at that time. But it changes, obviously. Some people do it every week, every day. This is my next part when I'll show you how to set up an alert. Let me see if I have other questions now. Okay, so I have a question in regards to the export. OBI does not provide a single column in export sheet for the exact publication number of patent records that are in it. That was restricted. It only provides the earlier publication date home. No, that's the one I was showing you. I hope that it answered. Maybe I see it. When you are in your export, in regards to the date, you can decide which type of date do you want. So earliest publication, you have earliest priority. Let me just make sure. Sorry, I'm just looking at the question at the same time. Earliest publication date and all record numbers. And you would like the exact publication number of patents. This is where you select it. Really, you can look at all these options. You have the earliest standardized priority number, earliest priority number. So this is where you can select what you want to see. And again, you have the advanced options to go even further. Let me know if I didn't answer your question, clearly. When I send you the recording, it will be me doing it and sending the documents. If you have any questions that need to be specified at the time, I'll be happy to clarify it. The combined strategy option is the one I was showing you earlier. So let's see here in search history. This is where you had the combined strategies. The example I gave you was not so great because I stayed within the same sort of searches. Let's see. Again, the combined strategy is really when you're using the strategy, each strategy is recorded here, and you want to combine them. You can also add keywords here. but it's mainly used to combine the strategies you have here. So if you've done, like you had a long query, for example, and you've decided to separate it, it happens sometimes. They say you're looking for specific results, and then you did a separate query on something completely different, and then you'd like to combine both of them. This is where you would put one strategy and another, and you'll see the combined results. This is something really good to play with and to see how you can go deeper and redefine your search queries and to get the best results that you're looking for. This will be down here. We do have videos, so I can send the link to the specific videos on the specific subjects you had questions on. All right, so we have about 10 minutes left. I want to show you quickly about the alerts. The alerts is really more in the advanced, but I think it's important. I'll just show you quickly. If you wanted to set up, let's see, an alert on, let me pick a proper one. This one, so we have 86 advanced search. I want to create an alert. Just want to show you where it is and how it looks. You will decide the name of your alert. You can give it a title. And this is where you'll decide if you want your alert to run weekly, monthly. You want to tell them if you want to retrieve records once they have an abstract. In this case, human or machine translated, human English or human language, any. You can view here option of how to view your script. Sometimes it's quite long, so that's why it gives you that option. It's asking you which collection you want to retrieve the information from. Pad, full text, always the same ones. How do you want to read the results? So, PDF, do you want them to go into your work file or RSS? And you want it delivered to your email address. Once you have your alerts set up, for example, here my alerts to the backpacker just. You can edit. So you can execute, edit, or delete. If you want to edit it, you can say, oh no, I picked monthly. After all, I want to do it weekly. This is basically quite, a simple way. Again, if you prefer to have it directly into your work file, this is where you would click. Originally, maybe you wanted the PDF by email. It's useful if you want to share it with colleagues. You can, then transfer the email there or retrieve the document as well. All right. I think we've covered pretty much everything that we have here for the basic training today. I wanted to tell you again that if you have any questions, you did have the orange button at the bottom left, where you can search for articles, and if you don't find the answer, you can contact the help desk, or here you can write down if you want to contact the help desk directly, help@questel.com. Here you have a link to a knowledge base directly. Let me turn on my video once more. All right, well, it was a pleasure to do this training today with you. Again, I will send you all the documents, and if there was any particular questions that I didn't answer or not clearly enough, don't hesitate to ask me when I send you the message. I'll be happy to reply to you and send you pertinent articles on your question. I wish you all a very pleasant day. Thank you.